to say something to you. Stop blaming the youth for all of the problems in our neighborhoods and start looking at the society that they live in.
Yes.
Now, as a single mother like myself, I have 3 young black men, and I'm so proud of them. Ages 16, 17, and he'll be 21 in October. Now, how can single mothers like myself, how can we raise our young men into being black men? How can we raise them into being black men?
3 main messages that I would have for single black mothers. All parents, but especially the mothers, because y'all tend to be the predominant caregiver, caretaker because of the war against black males. Number 1, stop letting him off the hook for his lack of discipline. A lot of our boys are not being prepared for white racist American society by their mothers who love them so much that they forget to teach them accountability, responsibility, and the laws of consequence. America is waiting to swallow our sons up. And the hitch that they're going to use to destroy them is their lack of discipline. So it is the job of the mother to understand that although you must love and nurture him, true love is to teach him that there are no second chances in this world. So from the time he's 2 and 3 years old, when he messes up, there should be a consequence. Teach him that for everything you do, there's a karmic response that follows. Spiritually, politically, economically, so forth and so on. Our mothers, to some extent, are contributing to the effeminization of black boys because they're not providing them with the accountability, the responsibility, the structure, and the discipline, which is to say that a lot of our mothers are raising their sons to be the exact type of man that she herself would never want to marry.
Ooh, can I raise my hand like my grandma did?
The opposite of your dream mate. You ask the mom, what type of man do you want? Now, why are none of those traits in your son? Which means that you're making him into the worst nightmare for someone else's daughter. And what is often not understood is that boys learn to be men by mom because daddy ain't there. It's not fair. It's not fair. Our sisters have to raise these sons on their own. But I think it's ironic, though, that when the young sisters complain about not having an adequate spouse, it was a female who nurtured her husband for her to be the failure that he is. So number 1, raise them. Stop loving them. Number two, teach them to respect divine African female energy. Too many black boys have a profound disrespect for the black mother. It has been codified in hip hop. It's been codified in every aspect of African culture, from the way black women's bodies are sexually objectified by black women themselves sometimes. You understand? But our boys need to understand that regardless of what that woman is, regardless of what she did or did not do with her life, you must respect the divine female essence within her. There is no disrespect for black women whatsoever. Mothers have to drill that into their sons' heads, because what I'm finding is most boys learn to disrespect women from their own mother. It's the mother who are teaching these young men, don't trust them hoes. Don't trust them skanks. You see, when the girl gets pregnant, she trapped my son with that baby. But your son participated in the trapping. If it was a trap, he's not absolved of his responsibility. Why are you beating down on that sister instead of beating down on your son as well, or holding them both responsible? We all know the stories of how the mothers run to the son's defense even when he is wrong.
That's right.
So the 1, make him be a man. 2, make him respect woman. And 3, teach him that his destiny is in his own hands. That means he has to be emotionally self-controlled. Too many black males are going to jail and to the cemetery by not being able to control their emotions because mom exemplified emotional dysfunction herself. You see that? So the boy learns to behave like his mother, although he think he's acting like a man. So behind this hyper-masculine persona that is projected by our young men is a feminine energy that resonates behind that. You see, that's why the thug can kill so quickly. Where's your discipline at? You murdered him on emotion. You see that? You did the dope on emotion. Half of what our young men are doing, they're doing it on emotion, which is often aligned with the feminine principle. We need the emotion. We need the feminine principle. We got both, but he's a man, so his masculinity should dominate. Teach him that there's a time and a place. Teach him that his fate is in his own hands. He cannot blame his father being dead or in jail or incarcerated. You cannot blame your mother for being on welfare or for being poor. You have the same 24 hours a day as everyone else. You have the same 2 feet, 2 hands as everyone else. You have the same brain as everyone else. So when you look at the raw materials necessary to make a success of yourself, there's no excuses for why you cannot be one.
I feel like my grandmother right now when she said I can't speak, I just wave my hands, because that is so true what you're saying. And see, here in Birmingham, there is a lot of violence, and it's a lot of our young black men. A lot of the robberies that have been going on lately, young black men. A lot of the murders, young black men. Every time you turn on the television, every week, it's a killing here.
Yes.
And it's our young black men. What can we do to stop that? Because the solution is not always jail. It's something
That's not a
behind
solution
it.
at all.
So what do we do to stop this violence?
The mother of all violence is miseducation. The father of all violence is economic castration. If you don't do anything about the miseducation and you don't do anything about the economic castration, you'll never reverse the violence, because the violence is nurtured by desperation, anger, pain, and depression. You see, so they're not killing just to kill. He might have shot him for disrespecting him. But what was the psychological underpinning? Why was he so angry that being disrespected will lead him to take another man's life? Because he can't get a job to pay his child support. He's walking around with that pain. You see, he's upset because his mother is in a hospital and she don't have any medical coverage, and he's the sole provider for the family, and he don't know how to make ends meet, and he's thinking he may have to break the law just to take care of his mother's medical bills. That was the precipitating agent in the violent clash. When you read about it in the newspaper or hear about it in the courtroom, they don't tie it to the personal economic struggles of the black male. They didn't tie it to the fact that he was 21 years old and couldn't even read or write his own name. Economics and education are at the basis. Let's go back. 60 years ago in American history, it was the Irish, the Italians, and the Jews who sold the dope. They ran the gangs. Why? Because they had no education and they had no economic opportunity, so they made their own. Robbing people, rackets, running numbers. They broke the law to feed. Same thing black men doing today. Why don't the Irish, Italian, and Jews kill each other in the streets like they used to? Because the United States government gave them an economic stimulus package in the form of the fire department, police department, and the civil service jobs. Obama ain't giving us no economic stimulus package. All black men are doing is what the poor white males used to do. It's the same thing. When men cannot be men, my job is to protect and provide. Protect, I got that. But provide, I need an opportunity. If you don't give me an opportunity, which means I'm not fulfilling my definition of a manhood, I become insecure. And I look for any other way to manifest my manhood that is available to me. And the only way, the only means of manifesting manhood for black men in America, killing each other and having children. Those are the two things you can do that don't require opportunity from the white man, to take a life or to make one.